Something different now. Every day we're bombarded with warnings about the dangers of unhealthy eating.
But while the British diet is failing to whittle down our waistlines, could other countries hold the key to staying slim? Well, that's what farmer Jimmy Doherty sets out to discover in his brand new series, and he joins us now. And this is called The World's Best Diet, Channel 4 tonight at 9. And so you have visited 9 countries comparing their diets.
Yeah, we start off with the countries with the pretty poor diets, suffering from obesity, diabetes, things like that, and then we work all the way to the best diet in the world, which we consider, with a panel of experts, to be the best diet.
Well, we'll talk about some of the bad ones. The top of the list, you say, and it's quite a surprising one, the healthiest is Ethiopia.
No. Not yet. It's up there. It is up there. It's one of the healthiest.
So why is their diet? Because of the very varied countries that you've been to, why would you look at their diet and say? Because if you think of Ethiopia, then unfortunately you think of all those dreadful pictures we had in the past of people who are not eating well at all.
Yeah, it's so funny because Ethiopia, you think of Live Aid, Band Aid, Bob Geldof, all that terrible famine. But Ethiopia is a wonderful country with a rich food heritage, and when you go to the rural areas, they really have a diet that is based on grain and vegetable. And the thing about the grain, which is called teff, it's whole grain, and they make it into this flour here.
So teff is what you said, it's like a new superfood in a way.
Yeah, it's a tiny little grain, and I suspect after people watch the show, they'll probably want to get hold of.
And why
teff
is it so special?
So which one of these is it?
It's the grey one here.
This one here.
The secret behind it is the fact that it's whole grain. And with a lot of the diets that we see around the world, the aspect that makes them really healthy is the less they've been messed around with. So for us, you could say, well, you know, Ethiopia's got a very good diet, so should we copy the Ethiopian diet? There's an argument to say, actually, not really. What we should do is look at the traditional elements of our diet that we've forgotten about. So things like oats, for example, and rye, and those whole grains, and having food that's been unadulterated is the best option.
Processed food, for us, that's our biggest problem, isn't it? Is that we're eating more quick, readily available food.
Yeah, completely. But the thing about the Ethiopian story is one of surprise, because you do associate it with actually lack of food.
What's the best in the world, then? What's the best?
Oh, I'm not telling you that. You'll have to watch it tonight.
Oh, really?
Oh, that's the secret.
What's the worst?
Well, the worst are obviously the Western cultures like the States. Mexico was pretty bad. And actually, my whole sort of filming career, the story that I saw in Mexico was one that sort of blew me away. And it wasn't to do with obesity, it was to do with sugar and sugary drinks and the effect on children. And we went to a dental hospital and I saw the actual effects of drinks on children from 6 months up to 4-year-old.
We've got that clip. This, yeah.
Hola. Hola. She reminds me of my daughter.
La de primera vez.
Yeah. It's so shocking, because that's a lovely young girl, but it's the consumption of sugary foods and sodas that has caused this lovely little girl to have nearly all of her teeth missing. Yeah, I don't know what to say.
That is something that actually has been making the news here, with various people saying that we should stop giving our children fruit juice at dinner.
The thing about fruit juice is often you think of it as being a healthy thing, but if you eat some fruit, you're getting all the fibre with it, so actually it is. But if you're just taking the fibre away and you're left with the sugar element of the fruit, that's not so good. I think that the fizzy drinks are a real one to watch, and obviously for many, many years, the big pariah in our diets has been fat. Keep away from fat.
Yes.
In fact, actually, sugar is the big issue.
Well, we're beginning to become more aware of that now. So you talk about Ethiopia being grain and also being vegetables and that sort of thing, but actually Iceland have a very... their diet is sort of very meat-based and very fish-based, and you'd think, well, maybe too much meat in your diet wouldn't be good, but actually, in their lifestyle, that's working out pretty well as well.
Absolutely. You think about Iceland, during the summer, lots of daylight. During the winter, it doesn't get light at all, really. So they've got to store a lot of their food away. But the secret to their meat is it's grass-fed. Nice fatty lamb that's grass-fed on very slow-growing grasses and herbs on a volcanic soil, so very rich in minerals and nutrients, plus lots of dairy and all grass-fed.
But again, you think full-fat dairy, high-fat, that's not going to be good for you.
That's what we've been told, but actually you've got to look at what the animals have eaten rather than just just what kind of animals you're eating yourself. So if they've had a natural diet, that's going to be good for you. And the fresh fish is great. But
I was going to say they eat a lot of fish. They eat a lot of seabirds as well.
A lot of seabirds. But I'm not going to be rude to Iceland, but they eat a lot of weird stuff as well, because I had...
Only weird to us.
Well, only weird to us.
What,
but because obviously the harsh winters store a lot of food away. A fermented shark. I had to eat fermented shark, and that was... It's a bit weird.
Is it like just really fishy?
Rancidy sort of
Rancid?
fish. Yeah, it smells like cheesy fish, kind of weird. And poor Kate, who's my co-presenter, she had to eat the same sort of thing in Korea, skate, and also she had octopus tentacles but they were still wiggling, so she had to eat some dodgy stuff.
What's mukbang? Because you talked about Korea there. Mukbang's
here. This cabbage, fermented cabbage, in front of you, and a lot of people think,
it's like artichoke.
No, it's cabbage, and you often think, well, pickled cabbage, fermented cabbage, you know, it sounds a bit funny. And again, like many of these stories with diet, should we all start eating this dish? Well, we have very similar things like pickled onions or sauerkraut, and it's the fermented, it's the live bacteria that are very good for you. It's the same with blue cheese.